I realized that over time my content has become a little bit selfish in the way that I've forgotten that not everybody has my mind and my experience and the context of everything that I've ever thought of. And I literally just make videos based on like my lowest impulses of what interests me at any given moment. And because of that, I've strayed so far from the original goal of my page, which is to share and spread ideas, especially surrounding spirituality. Now, the reason that I'm making this video is to express a mistake that I've made that I hope you won't, which is to forget what the average person believes. Now, I know a lot of people will take that as like an ego hit or me trying to posture myself as superior somehow. But if you're someone who's very invested in spirituality or being an intellectual or philosophy or anything just regarding truth and thinking about stuff, it can get really easy to develop shitty handwriting. It can get really easy to just play by your own rules in your own brain all of the time and forget that in order to share this with anybody, you have to be legible. You have to still be able to communicate thoughts that you're having to the average person. Otherwise, they don't really mean anything. Not because they genuinely don't mean anything to you, but because they're selfish. At the end of the day, you're allowed to do whatever you want for your own enjoyment or for hobbies or whatever. But if you have some inkling of a belief that you're doing something for the greater good, but you're only serving yourself, like I am you kind of need a reality check. I think this type of dynamic is especially common in political communities. People who become very engrossed in understanding political ideologies and economics and philosophy totally abstract themselves from the emotional reality of the average person and totally abstract themselves from any sort of discourse that meaningfully interacts or communicates all this knowledge and wealth of understanding that they've built up to the average person or to the person that can make genuine physical change. The pretentious leftist trope is not just a leftist trope, it's just an intellectual trope, and oftentimes even a spiritual guru trope. And it also reminds me in some sort of analogous way to like the rule of martial arts being to not use it in violence, but to use it in defense. The whole goal of developing this system of fighting is so that you can defend yourself, is so that people don't have to fight. The whole goal of doing all this intellectual thought, of doing all this spiritual work, is to help other people. Doing all of this inventing and crafting and experimenting without sharing it with anyone is so egotistical, because at the end of the day, so much of what we understand and how we live our lives is afforded to us by the millions of people that we're living on the backs on. The ancestors, the inventors, the entire cultures that form around just a million people being in a time and a place where they could exchange thoughts. Like we can't even comprehend the scale of thought and consideration and advantage we have from being in an emergent society where creatures just like us all around the world are culminating beliefs and ideas and helping each other out in small ways. In simpler terms, I was watching a documentary about monkeys, and they talked about one of the core advantages of this monkey group being that they can watch. Monkey see, monkey do. One person learns how to swim, everybody learns how to swim. And we really take that fact for granted as humans. But anyways, all that to say that I'll be starting my old content with my very next video. If you have any suggestions, any favorite videos from years back that I used to do, any ideas or concepts you want me to talk about, please leave a comment, write me a DM. And over this next month, I'm just going to post as much as I can from my old content and from ideas that I think I can articulate better or things that people are reaching out to me for. I love you all and take care.